Hi everyone, this is producer Susie. Let me know if you can hear me. I can see the chat right now, so please let me know if you can see and see the slide I have on screen and hear me talking. Okay, great. Yes, this is my first time streaming the Daily Space, so thank you all for your patience. Dr. Pamela is at a conference in a hotel that blocks Twitch, and Annie had a prior engagement, so she set me up earlier this morning so I can do the Daily Space for y'all. So just bear with me. I don't have a camera on this computer, or at least I did not have one I could set up quickly. So thank you so much, Tom Van Scotter, for subscribing again. We very much appreciate it. And I will see, at the end of this, I will see if I can get my dog to come over and bark for you. You may hear him bark during the show because apparently things are going on outside somewhere. So you may hear a dog bark in the background, and that's Jake. That's my co-pilot over here. At the end of the show, I will try to get him to speak for y'all since I don't have a doggy cam. Apparently, I'm going to have to get some cameras because this way I'll be set up that I can help during the Hangout-a-thon if I can't make it to Dr. Pamela's. Now, we'll be getting ready for that soon, and you will hear tons more about that as we do planning, as we get through November. Basically, when Dr. Pamela gets back from traveling to these conferences, I'm pretty sure we will fully break into Hangout-a-thon planning mode. But today I'm here to tell you about the space and science news that happened, and thankfully Dr. Pamela wrote the script for me and recorded the podcast, so bear with me as I read this for y'all and carefully try to do the slides. See, I'm good at the behind-the-scenes stuff. This doing stuff right on screen is a little nerve-wracking, but talking is not a problem for me. Any of you who know me know this, so hopefully this will go just fine. So, in our first story today, we have a pair of TESS mission-related press releases. The first highlights an image mosaic together from the 2008 images of the southern sky. TESS stands for Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, and this mission is imaging patch after patch of sky on a rotating basis, looking for planets that pass in front of, or transit, their stars. In addition to measuring the slight dimming that accompanies planetary transits, TESS is also sensitive to the light changes that accompany stellar explosions and that accompany transitory events like comets. These 2008 images were acquired as TESS imaged 13 sectors of the southern sky for a month apiece. All told, TESS has returned 20 terabytes of data containing 29 confirmed exoplanets and more than 1,000 planetary candidates. If you would like to study TESS's mosaic of the southern sky for yourself, you can find a copy and links to the original NASA site on dailyspace.org. I will put that link in the blog post that will be up as soon as I finish doing this show today. In searching for planets, missions like Kepler and TESS have taught us one important fact. Solar systems come in more varied forms than anyone had ever previously imagined. As scientists, we're all working with limited resources, and even theorists have been limited in what they could study by the costs associated with the supercomputers and the limits on how long code could run. This means that in trying to understand what we expected to find, we often limited our software to only explore parameter spaces where we could expect positive results. Our models had systems with only one massive Jupiter-like world. Planets orbited in circles, and if things varied from that, it was weird, and not too many people thought too hard about it. That was the past, however. Today we know that the universe doesn't care about our preconceived notions about how it should behave, and we have much better computers, and can explore those situations we really hadn't thought about before. This brings us to our second press release of the day. Earlier this year, TESS identified a giant planet orbiting the star HR 5183 with a highly elliptical orbit. As the press release reminds us, Conventional wisdom says that a giant planet in eccentric orbit is like a wrecking ball for its planetary neighbors, making them unstable, upsetting weather systems, and reducing or eliminating the likelihood of life existing on them. But as I said, the universe doesn't care about our wisdom. Recognizing this, UC Riverside and Caltech astronomers Stephen Kane and Sarah Blunt ran models to see if there were any possible ways to put a habitable planet into a system like HR 5183 that has a giant planet that swings comet-like through the inner solar system every 75 years. Oh, just to remind y'all, there are only a couple of slides today, so you'll be seeing them a long time. There are like 3. So this is still the TESS slide, just so you know. And hi, I'm Susie Murph. I am normally the producer, and I am filling in for Annie and Dr. Pamela today because Annie was previously engaged and Dr. Pamela is traveling. So back to reading to you the second press release about TESS. So it turns out that while gravity will generally fling away any planets put into the star's habitable zone, there are certain combinations that allow a small planet to exist in a stable orbit. This kind of I wonder if research can excite the imagination, and as if they were trying to encourage science fiction writers to tell their theoretical world story, they calculated that when the giant planet passed every 75 years, it would appear 15 times brighter than the brightest apparition of Venus, and would have a clear diameter on the sky. So far, no such world has actually been found, and as I said, this possibility was a rare outcome. The majority of possible configurations do lead to the giant world destroying other worlds in its system. Still, the fact that this kind of system could exist means that in the vastness of our universe, it probably does exist, and really someone does need to tell this world story. Let me see, I think I can switch back to the beginning because this middle part does not have a slide. Okay, it's always fun to imagine the otherworldly skies of planets in remarkable places, like the solar system, with a giant planet orbiting like a comet. Still, we can't really complain too much about the planetary views we have from our own planet Earth. This month in particular is a good month to take note of the worlds around us. On Monday, November the 11th, the Earth, the Sun, and diminutive Mercury are going to align so that viewers in the correct places in the world will be able to see Mercury pass directly between the Earth and the Sun, and it will appear as a black dot on the Sun's surface. This event is best viewed from South America or the east coast of Canada and the United States. So, sorry Fraser, it's not on the west coast. Viewers to the west will see Mercury already in front of the Sun at sunrise, while observers to the east, in Europe and Africa, will lose the end of the event to sunset. While Mercury transits aren't extraordinarily rare, and do occur several times a lifetime, the next transit won't occur until 2032, so this is worth getting up to see. For East Coast observers, things start around 7:30 a.m. Always practice your safe solar viewing. While you can safely view the Sun through eclipse glasses, Mercury is only 1/200th the diameter of the Sun. So to see Mercury successfully, you'll need a safe way to magnify the Sun, and one of the best techniques is to project the Sun onto a wall or another large flat surface using binoculars with glass lenses, or a telescope that has been masked to reduce the amount of light entering the instrument. Be careful, because the Sun is fully capable of melting plastic lenses and damaging mirror coatings. If you have a solar scope, you'll want a magnification of at least 50. Currently, the Sun is at solar minimum, and sunspots aren't expected to complicate your view. If you do see sunspots, it's worth comparing their color to that of Mercury. Sunspots are actually bright and only appear as spots in contrast to the solar surface around them. Mercury, on the other hand, would be blocking all the Sun's light. This is the one time you might be able to tell just how not dark sunspots really are. If you opt to get up before sunrise, you should also be able to catch Mars and possibly even Uranus, if you know exactly where to look. Uranus is out there. November 11th might not be the best night to look for it, however, as the moon is pretty much full. Instead, if you want something to do over the United States version of Thanksgiving, go out to a dark location with a phone app that helps you find things in the sky. Uranus should be high in the sky in the middle of the night and just visible to the unaided eye if there's no light pollution. So that rounds out our show for today, short but sweet. But if you have questions, you can go ahead and line them up. Now, I don't guarantee that I will know the answers to them, but I can give it a try. And I can also tell you they're really good questions that you want for Dr. Pamela. You may want to bring them back on Monday. Let me do a quick wall of text. Thank you all for listening. The Daily Space is produced by me, Susie Murph, and is a product of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicating to exploring our solar system and beyond. We are made possible through the generous contributions of people like you. And if you would like to learn more, please check us out on patreon.com/CosmoQuestX. During this month of November, we are running a special fundraiser to support our server costs for 2020. We project that the costs are going to be about $1,450 for all of our websites for the year. So if you would like to help us reserve our place on the internet, you can donate at streamlabs.com/CosmoQuestX. Your donations are tax deductible where allowable in the world. And don't forget that you can always find these shows archived over on YouTube. Pretty much as soon as we finish every day, I try to download them from Twitch and upload them over on YouTube with a tiny bit of editing, mostly just to remove the stuff before the rockets and right at the beginning. And for the people who aren't big dog fans, I try to trim out some of the major dog stuff on occasion. And you can find their shows over there. And if you have not already subscribed to our CosmoQuest YouTube page, please do that, because even if you're not watching it over there regularly, just going over there and subscribing to our page helps boost our number of subscribers. And we have to hit a certain number before YouTube will let us have ads. And ad support would be really great, because basically it's pretty easy money for us to make, and every dollar that we get helps. It supports me, it supports Dr. Pamela, it supports Annie. I know that it also helps to buy dog treats, and it helps us basically be able to do all of the science that you see and support all of our programs. And it's a very good thing. And I have one kid in college, and I have another kid who's going to be starting college, so I greatly appreciate being able to be paid. So your money is going to good use. We're doing lots and lots of work, and it's great to be able to be paid for it. Thank you so much, Bad Panda Bear. Let me see real quick, while you guys think, if you have any questions for me as the producer, feel free to ask questions. Let me see if I can get my dog Jake over here and potentially get him to speak for you. Come here, Jake. Come here. You can't see him, but he is a fluffy black Australian Shepherd Border Collie looking thing. Hey, Kevin, can you look over by the door and see if there's a bag of milk bones? I think I left my bag of milk bones over by the door. But yes, well, I have headphones on, so Jake can't hear the songs. But yes, I do need a dog cam. I will work on getting all that stuff set up before the hangout-a-thon. But let's see if we can get Jake to speak. Jake, can you speak? Speak. Good boy. Did y'all hear that? Yes. He's an Aussie mix. He was an adopted mutt. So he is very happy with his half a milk bone. And I will give him another half here in a minute. Thank you so much. Well, we're about done for the day. So we really are just going to get Jake to talk another time or two, and then I will let you all go. But thank you so much And for some reason, my phone just started auto-texting. That was really funny. Okay, the gremlins are out at my house. All right, Jake, can you speak? Good boy. Jake says, thank you so much for the bits. And with that, I will see if oh, hang on. Let me pull up the chat and then you guys can see maybe a little bit. There we go. I forgot to go to that slide. You guys would be impressed at how Pamela and Annie do this every day because this is tricky. There's so many moving parts to figure this out. Here you go, Jake. You are getting some treats. Thank you all so much. Jake is very happy over here because he's getting milk bones. And thank you all so much for all of the bits, all of the subs, all of the support. You guys are amazing. Now I see why Annie and Pamela enjoy this because it's very inspiring. But thank you all so much today for being super sweet. Thank you again, everybody who's subbing. Oh, this is amazing. And I promise, at some point soon, I will work on getting a camera and I will see if I can get a dog cam or at least a camera I can move around and show you, Jake, because my house is kind of messy. I may have to do this, do my video in the room where we have all the board games. Jake, yes. Jake says, thank you. He's a sweet, fluffy dog. But all right. Well, if nobody has any producer questions for me, which is fine. That's producing stuff. It's the boring stuff on the back end. I'm usually the one picking up everything and posting things various places and copy and pasting all afternoon and occasionally forgetting to copy and paste something where I'm supposed to. But yes, I'll have my board games in the background because I don't know if I'll be able to do a green screen. How hard is the talent to work with? Oh, that's a good question. It depends on who the talent is. No, Dr. Pamela is amazing to work with. She's wonderful. She is actually the best boss I've ever had. And Annie is amazing. For those of you who were here yesterday, Annie came on and did this with a migraine yesterday. So she is awesome. And she got on today and set up this whole OBS setup for me. She got on my computer and did it all. We're not in the same place. She did it remotely. But she got it all set up for me because she had to leave earlier. So our guys are great, I'm telling you. I've worked on other places before where sometimes people are a little tricky, but nobody's ever been awful. But Pamela is amazing. She's like the absolute best. And the person you hear when she's talking on the show is the real person. That is what she's like. So, when you guys are donating, you're donating to a really good cause. There's a reason we all still work for her. Thank you all so much for being amazing volunteers and for being amazing supporters. And Jake is sitting over here very happy because he's getting milk bones. Let's see if I can get him to talk one more time. Jake, speak. Good boy. He's going to know that command after today. And, yeah, any support you can give us is very much appreciated. And if you can't afford to support, we totally understand. Just share us with your friends. Tell your friends to follow. Subscribe over on YouTube to YouTube/C/CosmoQuest. I believe that's right. Paranor has it in the chat because I'm talking so I can't think right now. And, you can always follow us over there for free, and that helps us because then we'll be able to do some ad revenue. And just thank you. And wherever you are in the world, don't forget to go out and look up. Bye-bye.